Ganryu could therefore get Half-Life combos for his high-crushing Thunder Palm or his double step-in palm.
What is happening? Why? The computer is negating hit stun? What is happening, dude? Just press anything.
Break out, everything day by day, freak out, anything.
What is YouTube? It's Reese video. So today's video, we're basically doing a breakdown of Tekken5 versus StreetFighter2Turbo 2, which was the best fighting game of all time.
From today's sponsor, W. So basically, W is a company kind of like G Fuel. It's basically like coffee, just without all the bad stuff that, you know, adds the jobs and stuff like that. I really like W. I use it every day when I'm editing, recording, if I'm going for a walk, even if I just want to drink. It can be a little addictive, and they have multiple flavors from peach to beach. If you guys love it, want to give it a try, use code GamerReach for 10% off your order. And let's get back to the video.
These two games considered to be the top of their franchise and their game, basically. Before we get into the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll check the last video. Also, appreciate y'all for all the love on the UFC video. I've been getting lots of comments of people's opinion on, not UFC, but boxing game. I've been getting a lot of people comments on what's the best. Some people say Undisputed and stuff like that. So I really like that you guys are taking enjoyment into these videos and stuff like that. And that I'm actually glad to help you get a perspective of which game was your favorite. But yeah, we're going to start the game off with Tekken5. Tekken5 released on November 15, 2004 for the PS3 and Xbox. Let's just say the first 4 games of Tekken wasn't what we expected to be, but Tekken5 took what was great, not what great, what was good, and turned it to great. Tekken5 really just was beautiful, not just from graphic wise, but gameplay wise. I think this was the first time we actually got to play a very 2D game, but more like 3D is kind of like Arena Fire, but not really Arena Fire. Let's just start off with what Tekken5 brought to the table. Tekken5 really started off with a banger, with bringing Devil Jin in, but also bringing in a lot of new characters like Asuka, Fang, Paul, and bringing back old characters like Roger, Hayachi, and stuff like that. Tekken5 was really great. They also brought in online mode too for the first time. That was really like great. But online on PS2 wasn't really worth it during that time, especially back in the day, just because PS2 didn't have a lot of games that was compatible with online at the moment. But Tekken5 really did it. Tekken5 brought a new game mode called Devil Within, which basically replaces Tekken Force, which was a fan favorite. Tekken Force is really good, but Devil Within was great. Now the controls a lot harder, a lot more complicated, but it gave us a new perspective of Devil Jin, and it was the only way for us to unlock Devil Jin without really playing through hundreds and hundreds of matches just to unlock them. It was like the easy way out, basically. If you guys ever played Nina's Death by Degree, which came out January 27, 2005, you'll understand why I say Devil Within was way better than that in Tekken.
There's the intruder.
I don't know why they even thought that would be good to get a knockoff game of that, but hey, that was their problem. Let's on to the next one. Boards. The boards of Tekken5 was beautiful. They were more unique and they were more visibly inspiring, just because they was able to bring back a new system. I can't remember what the system was, but it was really beautiful and it was a really good system for the game. It still had pixelated games at the moment, because it's not like it is now with the PS5s and the Xbox Ones and the Xbox Series, but it was a really visual great game. I really like that. Also brought a new mode, which is kind of like Virtua Fighter 5 arcade mode, where you kind of like play, you get money, and like at the end you basically fight Jinpachi, which was one of the hardest bosses at that moment, which I didn't really like, just because he had a move that was annoying. Let me not cuss, got me, but a move that was annoying where he spammed. It was basically like a one-hit defeat if you ever got hit with it. If you guys ever played Tekken 5's arcade mode, you'll understand. That was just so annoying. But the fluency of the roster with Tekken 5 was so great. Like, you had your girl rosters, each character felt different, but this time they actually give us more combos. It wasn't just like the same combos that you get from if you play with Heihachi and then Kazuya. Each character had more combos and more ways to counter the next. And then we also had raised arts, which is basically like special moves that kind of knock off and stuff like that. It's a really good game. Really good game. And the longevity. The practice mode of practice mode of Tekken was really good. Just because now it actually gave you a breakdown by frames. So it can let you know how many frames it would take to complete that move versus like how many frames it wouldn't. Which is really good. My favorite character at the time was Full Rain and and Kazuya. Still to this day, those two are my favorite characters for sure. Hands down, the most unique character in my opinion was Heihachi. Full Rain and Kazuya. I don't know why I keep saying Heihachi, but yeah, it was a really good game. And it just had that N factor. Like, you ever play with someone and just had that X factor, like Stephen Curry with Golden State or LeBron with any team he's on. It was just the X factor that Tekken 5 had for as a fighting game, which was really good, which I respect so much about this game. Some people say still to this day this is the greatest Tekken game of all time, but I believe Tekken 8 was great. I believe Tekken 8 is the greatest Tekken game of all time. But this brings me back a trip down memory lane. If I still had my PS2 at the time, I would love to play this game and go down memory lane and understand and really dig in to what was to come for years to go. Now we're to Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Street Fighter 2 Turbo originally came out February 23rd, 1994, but 14 years later they dropped a Street Fighter 2 Turbo remix, which came out November 25th, 2008 for the PS3. I'm just gonna focus on the PS3 version. I'm gonna give my aspects of the NES and GameCube version of it, but I'm just gonna focus on the PS3 version and stuff like that, and really give its perspective of it. But Street Fighter, in my opinion, no hate to Tekken and Mortal Kombat and Dead or Alive. I don't know why Dead or Alive are even in this conversation over Street Fighter 5. Those games are not even in the caliber of Tekken and Mortal Kombat and those type of games. But Street Fighter, in my opinion, is the alpha omega, the top of the fighting game in general. Some people might say Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter has it, in my opinion. Just because the amount of publicity this game had before it even became a household name. I'm talking about, it was already having movies about it. Not cartoons, like action figures. It had knockoff cartoons doing like respective Ken and Ryu and stuff like that. So this game had way more clout before it became a household name it is now. Let's just jump straight into it. Street Fighter 2 it didn't have a lot of game modes, but each game mode really gave you the effect. And it had online now too, so you could play online against other characters, really test your way and understand how you can become better, which is really good. I really like that and understand that. The roster wasn't really good, but each character felt different than the next. Graphics wise, at this time, this was the best graphically game to this day. Like, I still like it over Tekken 5's graphics. Maybe because I'm just like a big Naruto fan, big anime fan, so I love those type of aesthetics. But this is really beautiful. And then the boards was just magnificent. Like, just from the detail, and each board felt like a scene, like you're in a movie, basically. Like you're going down memory lane, or like you're playing Rush Hour 2 and you with Jackie Chan or Chris Tucker. It was really good. It played like a real story. Each character had a lot of combos. But one thing I didn't like about this game was the spamming. Just because, like, but if you guys both pick Ryu, you both could spam Hadoukens all day and no one win. Just because of how unbalanced it was with that move. Which is good. I'm a big Ken fan. Like, Ken Masters is my favorite. Everyone knows that. I've been rocking with the same people for long. Like, ever since Street Fighter came out, I always loved Ken Masters. I don't know, something about him just gave like the it factor. But he was a really good game. He was a really good character. I don't like how they did him now in Street Fighter 6 now, because he like homeless and stuff. Like, he lost his whole family and stuff like that. I didn't even like that, because like he went from top of the mountain to bottom of the mountain. But the story mode in Street Fighter 2 was really good. It just could have added more concept of it, like cutscenes, stuff like that. But hey, it was just beginning. The arcade mode of Street Fighter was really good. It was better in my opinion than a lot of arcade modes now, especially Street Fighter 6 arcade mode. I don't like Street Fighter 6 arcade mode. I just feel like it's too weird. And then like you have like the secret boss battles with Bison and stuff like that. It was everywhere. I didn't even like that. But it's just the fluent. I think this was the first time a game actually ran at 60 frames per second 1080p, which was amazing. Just because back in the day you couldn't really get that. I understand it's different from Tekken 5, just because Tekken 5 was running on PS2 and this is running on PS3. But these were both considered the best games at those times. And it was only 4 years apart. So you can't really say like, yo, oh, this was a big jump from like Tekken 3 to Tekken 8, which was like 20 years apart from each other. You can't do that. These games are 4 years apart, so I can really balance them and see what this one did better than the next. In terms of game modes, Tekken 5 I feel like has better game modes, just because, you know, it's Tekken and get more. But fluently, give it to Street Fighter. Street Fighter is more fluent when it came to like fighting, input, and stuff like that. And overall, just the combos and fluency of the game. In my opinion, if I had to give a debate and choose my side, I feel like StreetFighter2Turbo is an overall better game than Tekken 5. Still to this day, I just feel like just because Tekken 5 was a great game, but it didn't have a lot of game. It didn't have a lot that Street Fighter brought to the table, especially now with taking Street Fighter 6. But during the time, Street Fighter Turbo was just like, it was fluent, smooth, and it was well put together in terms of like each character really being uniquely them. Tekken is really good. It's a caliber of a game, but I have to give the edge to Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It was an overall better fighting game. Let me know what you guys think. Let me go if you guys team Tekken or team Street Fighter. My opinion, we slide in there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't like, comment, subscribe. Also check out my last video of the greatest anime game of all time, which in my opinion is Naruto Storms 4. Not Naruto Storms 4 Connections, not Naruto Storms Road to Boruto, none of that. Just Naruto Storms 4, the very first Storms 4 game that came out on the PS4. But yeah, appreciate all the love, subscribe. These last couple weeks been crazy, and then, you know, I didn't expect to get this many views and to be getting K's on almost every video. Every single video I've been posting these last couple days, been getting K's on it. So I appreciate all the love and support. I understand you guys really like hearing me break down my games and my opinion and stuff. I love to hear you guys' opinions as well. That's why I try to always react or comment, respond to every comment you guys post. Like, I see everything, so I always try to make sure to respond and comment to everything. And I love to see y'all guys' perspective of these games too, because, you know, everyone is different and everyone is triggered to have their own opinion of a game. That's why I love it. That's one thing about not just being American, but as being a human being. You know, you're not always gonna like everything, but it's gonna be some things that you do agree with and some things that you don't. So, you know, y'all guys stay positive, show love, support each other. You know, if you got a friend who's chasing his dream, always support him. You know, don't ever talk down on it. Don't ever talk down on him or his dreams. You know, because y'all, it's better to win together. Because, like, what's the quote? I can't remember the quote, but, you know, you're strong by yourself, but you're stronger together. So, like, if you got people around you, you know, that's pushing you, or people that's you're pushing, you know, don't try to be Batman. You know, even Batman needs help and his butler. So, you know, all together, y'all stay together, you know, work together, and y'all get to y'all dream. Y'all get to y'all dreams faster that way. But it's been your boy Reese. I'm out. See you then.